playing around with a site that is very interesting.
Nice. What site?
It's called lyricstraining.com. I don't know if you heard from that site before.
No, I've never looked at it before. Let me see. No, I have never. It's not in my history, actually. Uh,
Then let me try to write down the address. Here it
sure.
is.
What does it do? You can learn how to the song lyrics of different songs.
Yes, you can go singing along with the song and practicing the lyrics and pronunciation, everything. That is a funny side.
That's awesome, actually. This is great.
That there's a good practice and have a lot. Maybe you can have another side recording how are you singing and then listening. That was awesome.
Listening to your own singing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's great.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
man.
also they have Spanish songs.
Spanish songs. Uh-huh. That's awesome. There are a bunch of Spanish songs that I would listen to that I know the lyrics to. I think I know the lyrics of maybe a few of them. Like there's a song by David Bisbal. He made a bunch of good songs. Um, like Ave Maria, cuando serás mía, si me quisieras todo te daría, something like that. it's it's
Listen
it's a
pretty
great
well.
song. It's a great song. I love it. I love that song because it's so beautiful.
What is
Uh,
song?
hey Lynn, how's it going? I'm sorry.
What is song?
This song that we're talking about is well, the one I was talking about is called Ave Maria, and it's by a guy named David Bisbal or David Bisbal. Um, it's very old. It's maybe from 3 4 years ago, but when I first heard it, it was extremely beautiful song. Uh, yeah,
Okay,
someone was
nice.
playing it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. How's it going, Lynn? Good to see you again.
Uh, mm, Everything is fine.
Awesome, awesome. Yesterday, actually 2 days ago, Lynn, I wanted to tell you, um, there was there is a very large Vietnamese community here in California. I'm actually in California now, and the other day I went to a restaurant. For the first time in my life, I went to a Vietnamese restaurant, and I ate pho pho ga, I think, chicken pho.
No, 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 no. Phở ga. Phở ga. Right?
Pho
Yes,
ga.
phở ga.
Uh-huh. I had a very difficult time pronouncing the word because I thought it was pronounced pho. Pho, exactly, right? I thought it was pronounced pho. So I told the guy, I'm like, sir, could I get some pho ga? He said, what? Like he didn't understand what I was saying. So I had to repeat myself. And then at the end I just ended up pointing to the menu. I said, this one please, That's when he understood. So it's I was actually very surprised by the Vietnamese language. You guys have a lot of symbols for all of the letters. So it looks easy to pronounce because it's the Latin letters, but I think you need to really train yourself before you can learn it. In terms of me, I can't pronounce the letters. It's difficult for me.
Yes, maybe,
Uh-huh.
maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking I need to learn because there are a lot of Vietnamese restaurants here. My friend said, "Why did you eat the pho ga? You should have had the beef one." Apparently, I think the beef one is more delicious, is what he said. I said, "I don't know. I just got what thought was good." And they put in sriracha sauce. I don't know, Lynn, if this is something Americanized, but one of the most common food items here is sriracha sauce. Sriracha. I think it's Vietnamese or it's from some part of Southeast Asia. maybe Thailand or something like that. It's a very hot sauce. Let me show you guys a picture, actually, Salvador, so you can see it as well. And I had it in other parts of the country. Like even in my city, they have sriracha sauce. But here, it's everywhere. Like every restaurant, all the Vietnamese restaurants have it. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This sauce right here, guys, sriracha. Have you seen this before, Lynn? Is this something popular in Vietnamese food?
Yes.
It is, right? Yeah, they
Yes.
love it here. We love it here. Like, I mean, I had it before, but it's too hot for me, right? But here they have it in all the restaurants. Like, they just have these bottles everywhere, and I was very surprised. So I put a little bit of sriracha in my pho, and it was good. I mean, it was really delicious, but it was first time for me. So it's very, very good stuff. Are there any other foods, Lynn, that you would recommend for somebody who's never tried Vietnamese food? Because there are so many Vietnamese restaurants here. Like maybe today I'll go again to another one. Are there any recommendations that you can give me, Lynn?
Uh, I'm not so sure that in the country you will find out the traditional foods in Vietnam, but why don't you
Uh-huh.
try um, um,
Let me show you, Lynn, if I can find the menu of this restaurant, then I can send it to you. You can tell me what they have, or what is something, what is good. Let me. Yeah, but in the meantime, Lynn, go ahead and tell me anything else that you would like to recommend. Give me 1 second too as I'm doing this. Where is the menu on this guy? Crap. Number 5. Oh man, they don't have the menu. What? Pho 54. Pho. They have like 1,000 of these restaurants. They have like Pho 54, Pho 99, Pho 84. So I'm trying to find one that has a menu. In any case, what? Okay, I can find that later, guys, and or Lynn, I can send that to you afterwards. So anyway, guys, welcome to class. I wanted to ask you guys how everything is going first, and I think we're all doing well. So today, guys, we are going to be investigating actually a little bit of a different topic. We're going to be looking at a philosophical argument, right? Can money buy you happiness, right? I think it's a question that human beings have been asking for as long as we've been around, right? The debate between how much money do you need to make you happy, and is money actually the reason behind happiness? Is money really the most important thing for happiness, right? So we're going to be looking at that. Before we get to that, we're also going to be looking at distributives and demonstratives in English. And because this is an intermediate level class, right? I think you guys are both higher than the intermediate level, but because it's an intermediate level class, and we might have other people watching the class, we are actually going to be focusing on equally on the grammar and the article, right? So the understanding is going to be that we're going to practice the grammar as we normally do, and then we're going to go into the article and read the article using the grammar as a way for us to review some of these article topics, right? Any questions, guys, before we get started?
No.
Okay, fantastic. So, guys, if you guys don't mind, let me ask you, could you guys describe a few things that are near you right now, you know? Let's use the demonstrative. So let's use words like this or these or that or those, right? Those 4 types of words, we call those demonstrative pronouns or demonstratives in general, right? So I could say, you know, this is my friend's, right? This is some candy that's right next to me right now. This is my friend's, right? This is my friend's candy. Or we could say, you know, whatever else you want to say. Describe 3 things near you using the words this, that, these, or those. Lynn, you want to start?
this is my computer.
Uh-huh. Two more, Lynn, also, please.
Um,
Uh-huh.
that is my shoe, and these these are my pants.
These are my pants. That is my shoe. This is my computer. Fantastic, fantastic. So you use a combination of that, these, right? And we're going to be learning the difference between those two as well. So yeah, great job, Lynn. Salvador, please.
Okay, this is my friend, the fan. I
This is my
usually, my
what's
friend,
the
the fan.
the fan for that gives you air, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh. Fantastic.
I don't use it in the morning, but right now it's a little hot here.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, awesome. And then two more examples too, Salvador, if you don't mind.
The other example, I have a glass that is full of water.
Uh-huh. So you can say this glass is full of water.
So this glass is full of water.
Uh-huh. Fantastic, fantastic. And then one last one, please.
Okay, this is the remote control
This is a
that
remote
I
control.
that I
Uh-huh.
have for my TV.
That I have for my TV. Fantastic.
That is over there.
That is over there. Okay, great, great, fantastic. So we're using multiple examples, guys, right? Great job. So when we use these demonstrative, guys, demonstratives can be both adjective and pronouns, right? Demonstratives can both be adjectives and pronouns. So there are four demonstratives, okay, that we use in English. They are this, that, these, and those, right? So these are the four types of demonstratives, right? Now we use there are also some categories that demonstratives are organized by. Okay, the first is whether or not they are singular or plural. So out of these four, which ones are the plural ones, Salvador?
Um, the singular is this and that.
Uh-huh. And what about the plural ones?
Plural this and those.
These and those. Yeah, fantastic, right?
I
We,
have a question. I have a
yeah,
question.
yeah, absolutely.
Can you repeat? I want to know the correct way to pronounce this for singular and this for plural.
Great question. Great question. So when we say this for singular, it's a shorter sound. This.
This.
This. When we say these for plural, we have to make it a little bit longer. These.
This. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So when we're saying these, really try to stretch out that e, that first e. These. Right. These. Can you repeat after me, Salvador, if you don't mind?
Yes.
These.
This.
These. And then this.
This.
Yeah. This candy.
This.
These chairs. Or, I'm sorry, these chairs close to me. These chairs. Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. That's a great question. Because, yeah, they do sound similar, right? They do sound similar. So we have to always be sure that we are not confusing the two in terms of when we're pronouncing them, right? So the first one, guys, is either whether it's near or far, right? So these, I'm sorry, the first one is whether it's singular or plural. So these and those are plural, right? This and that are singular. Then if we look at near versus far locations, right, where these things are, Lynn, which ones are used for, which of these four demonstratives are used for things that are near you instead of far away?
This,
Uh-huh. And there's one
these,
more. Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. So this and these are used for things that are near you. And though the things that are far away from you, you know, if you have to point over there, you'd say that and those, right? One of my teachers, when I was learning Spanish, actually, Salvador, you would find this amusing. He would say, think about Spanish as being like a karate, you know? Aquí, allí, allá! You know? And it was very funny because that's how he taught us this, right? This, these, and, you know, or this, these, that, and those far away, right? That car over there, right? Those buildings on the other side of town, right? Those mountains. Mountains could be super far away, you know, with those, right? So fantastic, fantastic. Great job, guys. So any questions, guys, on these demonstratives so far, the way they're used, or what they are, I should say? We'll look at the application in a little bit, in a few minutes. Make sense?
Everything's clear.
Okay, great, guys. So when we say demonstrative pronouns, right, demonstrative pronouns can stand alone. Remember, guys, these four, they can all be demonstrative adjectives. They can also all be demonstrative pronouns. There's no difference between the two in terms of the way they're spelled, in terms of the way they're used. But pronouns can stand by themselves. They don't need a noun with them. Okay? Very important for you guys to know. So I always love to think about like a party. Okay? There are a ton of food. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? So you try something at the party and you say, "Wow, this is delicious," right? Is that an example? Is that this an example of a pronoun or an adjective, Lynn?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Yeah, sure. So let's say I'm at a party, right, and I have all this food around me, and then I say, I pick up something, I try it, and I say, "Wow, this is delicious." Is that this an example of a pronoun or an adjective? If I say, "This is delicious."
Um, um, sing, singular.
It's a singular, yeah, but is it a pronoun or is it an adjective? If you need help, let me know, Lynn. That's fine. This is a little bit.
Pronoun.
It's a pronoun, right? Why is it a
Yes.
pronoun, Lynn?
Because this one stand before a verb to be.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Lynn, right? That this is standing alone, right? I'm not saying this dish is delicious or this food is delicious, right? The pronoun does not need any nouns near it. It can stand by itself, right? So this is good. That sentence has no nouns, right? Good is an adjective, is a verb, this is a pronoun, right? It has no nouns, so it can stand alone. This is delicious. That is ugly, right? Maybe you go to a museum. You're looking at a painting on the wall. That's ugly. You know, you're not saying that painting is ugly. If I said that painting is ugly, then that painting is a noun. So that is an adjective that is describing the painting, right? So that's the crucial difference, guys, right? The pronouns, they don't need any nouns. They can always stand by themselves. The adjectives, they always need a noun with them, right? Does that make sense, guys?
Can you give us another example doing or trying this and that like an adjective?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can say, for example, this bottle of water is empty. This bottle of water is empty. That's an adjective, right? The this, we're only focusing on the this, guys, okay? We're only focusing on this, that, these, those four words. So do we identify them as adjectives? Do we identify them as pronouns? If I say this bottle of water, I'm describing what this is. I'm saying bottle, right? So this isn't, well, I'm using this to describe the bottle. So the bottle is the noun. This bottle, I'm using the adjective to describe the bottle. So in that example, this is an adjective, right? If I said this bottle is almost empty, right? If I say this is almost empty, it's a pronoun. I don't have bottle anywhere. There's no nouns, right? Another example would be, for example, this lighter, this lighter belongs to my friend, right? This lighter belongs to my friend. So what's the adjective in that example, Salvador?
This.
This, and what's the noun?
Lighter.
Lighter, fantastic. If I say this belongs to my friend, do we have any adjectives?
No, you have just a noun. That is this.
No, we have just a pronoun.
A pronoun, that's a pronoun.
Yeah, very crucial, right? So Salvador, remember, pronouns can stand alone. They don't need any nouns. They don't need anything. Adjectives must have the noun with them.
Okay,
Right.
got it.
Does that help out?
Yes.
Great. So let me just write pronouns can stand alone. Right? Okay. Fantastic. So give me, guys, an example of a sentence with any of these demonstratives as a pronoun, and then another one with each of these demonstratives as an adjective. Or first give me an example of a demonstrative pronoun in a sentence, then give me an example of a demonstrative adjective in a sentence. Okay? Lynn, do you want to start if you don't mind?
This is my eyeglass.
This is my eyeglass. Actually, Lynn, when we say it in English, we actually would say these are my glasses. Because if you say glasses, these guys, we actually don't call them eyeglass really. You could say these are my glasses. So you have to make it plural. So these are
This
my
is
glasses. And then what's another one? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
these are my glasses.
These are my glasses. Yeah. So in that example, that's an example of a pronoun, right? Because we're not saying these glasses. We're saying these are my glasses. These is standing alone, right? What about an adjective?
Um, um,
So with an adjective, we need a noun, right? You need to use one of the demonstratives, and we also need a noun.
um,
So remember when I was saying this lighter, right? So this lighter is the noun. This is the demonstrative, right? So you can choose any noun with any demonstrative, and we can make a sentence from that, right? Do you need help, Lynn? Do you need to think of something? I mean, think of something near you, right? And just say this, and then that noun, and then something else. That will make it an adjective. Lynn, are you there?
just I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking.
Oh, okay, no problems. We'll come back to you then. Salvador, can you give us an example of a pronoun as well as an adjective? 2 sentences.
Okay, this is my cell phone.
This is my cell phone. Fantastic. Is that a
And
pronoun or the adjective?
this is a pronoun.
Exactly. And then the second one?
That is my video game.
That is my video game. Well, that's another pronoun, isn't it?
Yes.
So we want one with an adjective and one with a pronoun.
Okay.
No problems, man. It was good.
So,
You're actually, yeah.
okay, this video game is mine.
Fantastic, right? This video game is mine. So video game is a noun, and this is the adjective that is describing that noun, right? And then
Right.
for the other example, you had, what did you say for the first time again, man? That is my
Cell phone.
cell phone. Okay, yeah. So that is standing alone, right? You're not saying that cell phone is my cell phone. You're saying that is my cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So Lynn, let's think of an adjective. Let's make a sentence with a demonstrative adjective, if you don't mind. Right, so remember, you just need any of these demonstratives plus a noun. So from Salvador, we heard, he said, this video game is mine, right? Video game is the noun. This is the adjective. That's all we're asking.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
This pen was given by my friends.
What's the noun? I'm sorry, Lynn?
Pen. This pen was given by my friend.
This pen was given. So if we use was given, Lynn, let's also say to who, right? This pen was given to me by my friends, right? So we said this pen was given to me by my friends, right? So then that way we are saying that it was received, you received it, right? This pen was given to me by my friends. I think it's a little bit better. But great job with the this pen, right? Because this is the adjective, pen is the noun, right? Fantastic. Any questions, guys, on that difference between adjectives and pronouns?
No.
Makes sense? Okay. Lynn, if you have any questions moving forward, let me know, okay? Never hesitate to ask me questions.
Yes.
Fantastic. So now I wanted to quickly go over distributives too, guys, right? Distributives, guys, are words that are used to talk about, let's say you have a group of things, right? You have a lot of things, right? You're using distributives to talk about the members of that group. Maybe the individual members, maybe the group as a whole, right? You're talking to 1,000 people, right? If you're talking to 1,000 people, you need to be cautious, you need to be careful of how you say what you're saying, right? You don't want to make any mistakes. So think about it as you're talking to a bunch of people, right? And distributives include words like each and every, right? Each and every, for example. So each one of you in the audience, each one of you, or I can just be talking to you and Lynn, you know, Salvador. I'm just talking to you guys, right? Each of you will pass this course, right? Each of you will learn about the demonstratives and distributives, right? Now, that's when I'm talking about both of you guys in the sentence, right? As a group, I'm talking to both of you guys, or in a larger group, I'm talking to everybody in the group. Each of you. I could be speaking to 1,000,000 people. Each of you, right? If I say either of you, you guys are 2 people. If I say either of you, then that means it's going to be one or the other, right? Either Salvador or Lynn. Either of you will win the race next week. Let's say you guys are going to have a race. You're going to be running, I don't know, 2 miles, right? Either of you could win the race. Either of you can win the race, right? Not both of you, one or the other. That's either, right? Then if I use neither, neither means none of you two, right? So neither of you will win the race. I will win the race, right? Or whatever. Maybe you're talking to somebody who's, you know, a little bit arrogant, right? You can go up to somebody and say, neither of you will win. I will win, right? Whatever, you know. People do that. So either and neither are focusing just on 2 things. Okay, it's very important to remember that, right? I like to think of elections. I like to think of races, right? And you know, a race between 2 people, an election between 2 people, right? Each one of you, or every one of you, each and every can be used for as many people as you want, or as many things in a group as you want, right? And so any questions, guys, on the each, every, either, and neither?
No.
Make sense? Lynn, does it make sense?
Yes.
It does, right? Yeah. Either and neither, just focus on either and neither as being comparing 2 things. That's the most important. Either and neither are 2 things, right? One is positive, either of you, one of you, right? One of you 2. Neither is none of you 2. Right? Actually, that's a really good way to think of that, right? Either is one of you 2, or one of 2 things, right? Neither is none of you 2, or none of the 2 things, right? So neither of these chocolates are healthy. Maybe there's 2 inside, right? There's actually probably like 7 inside, right? If I pick out 2, neither of these chocolates are healthy, right? Either of them could be delicious. I don't know. Maybe one is not, right? So we're talking about 2 different things, right? Okay, let's see you later. So Salvador, just me and you, man. When we are looking at other words that we use, right? We use, for example, all of and none of, right? Now here we're talking about everybody in a group, right? All of my friends are fluent in Spanish, right? Whatever. All of my friends can speak Spanish fluently, right? None of my friends speak Chinese fluently, right? So I'm talking about a large group. It could be more than 2 things. It could be 100 things, 2,000 things, right? All of my Facebook friends are silly, whatever. None of my teachers are bad teachers, right? So does that make sense too? So they're all of and none of?
Yes.
It does? Okay. And then the next one that I wanted to mention was we sometimes, the difference between each and every, so remember we were saying at the beginning, each and every, these are all distributives, right? So each and every, sometimes the two words can have the same meaning. We can say, for example, gas is getting more expensive each year, right? Petroleum, gasoline, is getting more expensive each year. I could also say prices, gas prices, let's say, are going up every year, right? So sometimes they have the same meaning. Each and every have the same meaning, right? Each year, every year we see more hurricanes. Each year we see more hurricanes, right? When we talk about years, they're actually kind of, when we talk about time, each and every usually have the same meaning, right? But sometimes each and every do not have the same meaning, right? So we can say, for example, let's say something like, the one thing about each that we should remember is each expresses the idea of individually something, right? Whereas every is kind of like a halfway point between each and all, right? So it's a little bit confusing. When we talk about each, think about it as you're going down a group of people. There's maybe 1,000 people. You're talking about each person individually,
One by one.
specifically. Yeah, number one. What do you mean by that? Solar?
One by one. If I have to
Uh-huh.
talking one by one.
Yes, exactly. One by one. Yeah. So if you're talking one by one, then you're saying each, right? Every is between each and all, right? So each is one by one, and all is everybody in the group, right? So let me give you an example, right? So if I say every artist is different, right? Then I'm saying, like, the group of artists that we have in the world, right? As a group, all of them are different from each other, right? But if I say something like each artist sees things differently or sees art differently, then I'm talking about the specific artists, each and every one of them, right? Each artist sees things differently. Every artist is different. I'm generalizing. I'm generalizing about all artists in general, right? And then, for example, we can say, like, a soldier, like maybe the president comes into a room, all the soldiers, they salute him, right? They stand up, they salute him, right? Every soldier saluted the president, right? We're talking about all of the soldiers in a group, right? Not one by one. And we can say the president gave each of the soldiers a medal for
Okay.
fighting, something like that, right? So that's a one by one relationship. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think that I have to practice
Practice the
just
each
to
and
try to
every.
understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't you give me an example then, Salvador, of a word of a sentence with each and then one with every. I'll see if I can help you.
Okay. For example, uh, I don't know how to say. Maybe I have to say I will spread every flower in my garden.
I will spread every flower in my garden. Um,
Spread with water. I don't know how to say. En español es regar.
mhm. I will water all my flowers.
I will water on my flower, on every flowers.
I will water every flower. Yeah. So with every, we would have to say, we wouldn't be able to make it plural. We'd have to actually say, I will water all my flowers, or I will water each flower, or
But I am thinking that later I will take care, taking off the bad part of the flower, and I can say I will take care of each flowers on my garden.
hmm So I think in English we would say like you weed your garden, like you take all the weeds out, the flowers they grow weeds sometimes near them. If you remove those weeds, then your flowers stay healthy, right? So
Right.
I will
But you have to do it one by one.
Yeah, so that way, so you can say, I will weed each flower in my garden.
In my garden, got it.
I will. I don't even know how to say. What's the verb? I don't actually know the verb for that. I will. I will weed my garden, or is it de-weed or weed? Let me check this. Actually, that's such a great question. I had no idea. De-weed meaning is it? I think it's weed or is it de-weed? I don't know. I don't think it's weed because weed is marijuana. Uh, I'm gonna weed my garden. I'm gonna grow my garden with marijuana. No, but it's I think it's gonna be weed. I will weed each and every. That's so weird. I will
Maybe
weed.
we can use a spray some water.
Yeah, actually, weeding is the better. Weed is the verb actually. So you can say, I will weed each and every flower in the each flower in my garden. Right? I will weed each flower in my garden. You're gonna individually go. You're gonna take the bad, whatever, put it back and plant it back. Right?
Right.
Yeah. So I will weed each flower in my garden. But
But
generally, yeah. Go
that
ahead.
is the point.
I'm sorry.
That is the point. If I can use it in that way, for example.
You can. You can. I will weed every flower in my garden. Yeah. Or
Okay.
each flower in my garden. I'm sorry. Each flower in my garden. Yeah,
Okay.
because you're talking individually one by one. You're gonna go around, right? Yeah. Many times, Salvador, there is a difference in. It's just I don't know. There's these little things are so odd even for native speakers. I don't know who came up with this with these rules for each and every. I mean, really doesn't make any sense. Like Spanish, it says cada, right? Cada uno, cada año, cada cosa, right? It's not. They don't have two examples. It just makes it more complicated. It's just, and it's difficult to explain because sometimes we look at these examples and I'm thinking, what is going on, right? So, any questions, El Salvador, about the topics from we looked at this and these and demonstratives?
I have a question about either.
Yeah.
If I am talking about something that I will do in the future, and for example, I have two choices, or I have to say two choices.
Two choices exactly.
Okay, if I have two choices, maybe go out to cycling or see a movie. How I have to say or how I have to use either. I will either see a movie or either I will.
Fantastic, fantastic question. Um, I think it's better to say I will either see a movie or go to the beach.
Okay,
So
I
you give
will
your
either
you give
see
your two.
movies or go to the beach.
Yeah, I will either see a movie or go to the beach. I will either go shopping or uh, I will either go shopping or go to the gym. Let's say I will either go shopping or I'll go working out. Right? I'll either go shopping or work out. Actually, that's the best option. I will either go shopping or work out. Right? So we're using the infinitive after we use either. Right? So I will either go shopping or work out, right? So go and work, just the base form of the verb, right? The infinitive. So I will either go. What was the first example again? You said, Salvador, the beach one. Yeah.
See movies or go to cycling, go out to cycling.
I will either see a movie or go cycling, right? Fantastic, fantastic. So the important thing about either is that the verbs are in the base, in the infinitivo, in the infinitive. So we don't say I will either, or he will either sees a movie. No, he will either see a movie or go cycling, something like that. And that is
Ah,
it. Because go and see, right? Those are the verbs. Those are the main verbs. Cycling is just a continuous verb that we're using
yes.
after go. Yeah.
Yes, I have to remove two to cycling, for example.
Yeah, use two. We don't want to say two.
Okay.
Yeah, just go cycling. Absolutely. Yeah. If you
Okay.
want two we would use if there's a destination, Salvador. So I will either see a movie or go to the beach, go to the mall, go to my friend's house.
Okay. And well, what important is the use either in this sentence? Can I omit the use?
Yeah, you can omit it and there's no problems, right? Because it's still going to be the two choices. I will see a movie or go cycling, right?
Okay, but it's more formal or correct using either.
Yeah, it just emphasizes that you are going to do one and not both of those actions, right? Either is emphasizing that you are going to do only one of these two things. So it's a little bit more formal, I would say. Yeah, it adds emphasis. You know, I will either sink or float, right? Maybe you're doing something and you don't know if it's going to be successful, right? I'll either sink or float, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
something like that. Yeah, that's a great question, Salvador.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so let's get started with the article, then, Salvador, right? Let's see if we have enough time to look at some of the stuff here. We're going to be focusing, guys, or suggest Salvador, on this article, and it's pretty short, but I want you to stop me, Salvador, anytime you have a question about a vocabulary word, right? Or also, I will stop myself after every one or two paragraphs, depending on how big the paragraph is, and I'm going to see if we understand all the words, right? So, can money buy you happiness, right? That's the topic for today. It's from the Washington Post, right? So this article is arguing that money can buy you happiness, actually, in 5 ways, right? So let's get started. You have probably heard and maybe even embraced the idea that money can't buy happiness. I've said so myself numerous times, right? What does embrace mean, Salvador?
Embrace. No, I don't know.
Embrace there are 2 meanings. One is if you give somebody a hug. If you really like somebody, maybe a friend, you can give them a hug. Embrace also means to accept something.
Okay, got it.
To accept something. So you have probably heard and maybe even accepted the idea that money can't buy happiness. I've said so myself numerous times. But behavioral scientists and researchers at Elizabeth Dunn and Michael Norton argue this is not exactly true. Money, if you spend it right, can buy you happiness. So what's the right way? Shifting from buying stuff to buying experiences. Okay, what does shifting mean, Salvador?
Shifting is changing.
Exactly. Excuse me, exactly.
What?
Shifting from buying stuff to buying experiences, and from spending on yourself to spending on others. So shifting from spending on yourself to spending on others can have a dramatic impact on happiness, right? Dunn and Norton write in Happy Money, The Science of Smarter Spending. What is dramatic impact? What does this mean, Salvador? Can have a dramatic impact on happiness.
A big impact.
Yeah, big impact, exactly, right? Dunn is an associate professor of psychology at the University of British Columbia. Norton is an associate professor of marketing at Harvard Business School. Truthfully, I needed a break from all the dreary talk about the federal government shutdown and concern the country might default. This is a difficult word, Salvador, but have you heard of dreary before?
No, I haven't.
Dreary is a way of saying boring, depressing, pessimistic, right? It's just so pessimistic when the government is always talking about, oh, we have a bad economy, we have no money, we're poor, we don't have anything, right? It's dreary talk, very pessimistic talk.
How do you say the word?
Dreary.
Dreary.
Dreary, yeah. Don't you love English? You have two consonants, D and R, no vowels inside. Dreary, right? Dreary, yeah. So all this dreary talk about the federal government shutdown, right? So Happy Money is the Color of Money book club selection for this month. So this book, they're talking about this book, Happy Money, The Science of Smarter Spending, right? Because it gives you an optimistic perspective on how you can use money, right? I'm always trying to find research that looks at how people can do better with the money they have. I plan to use this book in my financial classes where folks believe that if they just made more money, their level of happiness would increase. They could afford to buy better stuff, a larger home or cooler car. Yet studies show that more doesn't increase your long-term happiness, right? This is a great paragraph. Any questions on this paragraph, Salvador?
No.
Okay. Dunn and Norton strive to show how to spend money in less typical but more pleasing ways. They offer 5 principles you can use to buy happiness, right? What does strive mean, Salvador?
Stride is when you do something with force or you're trying to do something
With effort, yeah, with effort
with
and with
effort.
force. Absolutely, absolutely. Great job. They offer 5 principles, right? So how you can buy happiness. Buy experiences, right? Number one, as frugal as I am. Frugal is a tacaño, right? Someone doesn't spend money. As frugal as I am, right? My husband and I decided many years ago to set aside 2 weeks a year, every year at the same time, to take a luxury vacation with our children. My oldest has gone off to college, but she still wants to be included on these family vacations, right? As Dunn and Norton write, research shows that experiences provide more happiness than material goods, in part because experiences are more likely to make us feel connected to others, right? Does this paragraph make sense, Salvador?
Yes.
Okay. Number two, best way that we can buy happiness, make it a special treat. Don't overindulge yourself, the authors say, because abundance, it turns out, is the enemy of appreciation. What is abundance, Salvador?
I don't know what is abundant and I don't know what is overindulge.
Overindulge, fantastic. So if you overindulge in something, right, or if you overindulge yourself, Salvador, that means that you are just buying everything, eating everything, you are indulging yourself over the limit. Indulging is to enjoy something, right? So you are enjoying, you're over enjoying yourself, right? Anything you want, you're buying. Anything you see, you're eating, right? You're indulging yourself like crazy. So to overindulge is to over enjoy yourself, right? And because they're saying don't overindulge yourself, because abundance is when you have a lot of something.
Abundancia in Spanish.
Yeah, and when you have a lot of something, because abundance is the enemy of appreciation, right? I really like that. You know, do you know what appreciation means, Salvador?
No.
Appreciation is when you are thankful for something, you appreciate an experience, right? Or somebody does something for you and you appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. So having a lot is the opposite of being thankful for what you have, right? You have two things in life, right? You appreciate them. Maybe you have your family, maybe you have something nice, right? But if you have an abundance, then you have so many things, you have no time for appreciation.
Okay, also, or maybe you can have the opportunity to enjoy it because
Yeah,
you already have it.
exactly, right? So this is their second point. This is the sad reality of the human experience. In general, the more we're exposed to something, the more its impact diminishes, right? So the more we're exposed to something, the more we're exposed to money, the more we're exposed to luxury items, right? The more the impact diminishes. What does diminish mean? Do you know, Salvador?
No, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe go down.
Yes, absolutely, exactly, right? So this is great, Salvador. You're learning the meaning of these words through context, right? Through the other words. Diminishing something is something that is decreasing, that is going down. Absolutely, right? So the other ones, let's just quickly look at this. Buy time, right? So the person says, if you can afford it, you might decide you'd rather hire someone else to cut your grass than do it yourself, right? If you have the money, you can buy some time, right? Somebody else can maybe clean your house. Somebody else can mow your lawn, right? Or do your laundry, right? Things like that. Um, Number four is pay now, consume later. Consuming later provides time for positive expectations to develop, right? It's pretty good point, right? What does expectation mean?
Uh, Something that you are waiting for.
Yeah, I think in Spanish they say expectativa, right?
Right.
Yeah, expectativa. So positive expectations, right? If you buy something and you use it immediately, you're not allowing the expectation to develop, right? So that's something else that they're saying is really good. And number five, if you invest in others, right? So she says, I generally hate spending money, but when I helped a friend's daughter by buying her books for college, I was elated, right? What does elated mean? This is a tough word too, Salvador.
I don't know.
Elated is the verb for elation, E-L-A-T-I-O-N. Elation or elated is to become extremely happy. To be extremely happy, right? So when I buy something for somebody else, she's saying, instead of buying something for myself, I feel elated, right? I feel so happy when I use my money to help other people, right? So this is what they're saying, investing in others. So investing in others, paying now but consuming later, buying time, right? Making it a special treat, doing things once in a while and not abundance, and also buying experiences, right? These are her 5 golden rules for buying happiness. Do you agree with some of these points, Salvador, or are there any of these that you, when you heard them, you were thinking, wow, she makes a good point?
Yes, definitely. I think 5 are all right.
All 5 are right?
Yes,
You agree with each of these?
yes.
All right. What do you do when it comes to, I guess, enjoying, or I mean, when it comes to spending your money? Do you tend to agree? For example, me, I buy experiences all the time. I mean, I didn't want to stay at home boring, so I did my trip, and I'm always traveling. I love the experience of travel, right? It shows me different people, different things, different lifestyles, right? Helps me learn a lot about people and society. How do you enjoy spending your money? Do you like to invest in others, help others? Do you like to travel, experience different things?
I love to share time with my family, so I think that I am buying experience. So that for me that is, I prefer go out to dinner with my family and spend some money to do it myself, or maybe buy a new jeans or new clothes. That is not make no sense for me. But I prefer spend my money with my family, doing something that all all of us enjoy.
Perfect, perfect. That all of us enjoy, right? So, how do you do that, if you don't mind me asking? You guys go out to eat together, restaurants together, shopping together?
Well, that is no that isn't a thing that we do usually or regularly.
Uh-huh.
Um, Sometimes we go to the beach, and that is not far away from here, from my city,
Uh-huh.
and have a great beaches, and I like go and have a wonderful weekends, and also we we go to the mountains. There is a small town called Copan Ruinas. I don't know if you heard from
No,
before.
unfortunately, I only know Tegucigalpa.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, sometimes I go to Tegucigalpa.
Uh-huh.
I like that city. So that is the way. I love road trip and going stop in
Little city,
every
little
every
village,
city
maybe.
or a
Uh-huh.
little village and
Uh-huh.
eating, making jokes. That is for me a great way to spend money.
Yeah.
You have to do it sometime because that is part of being a family. Share times together, and also you have a lot of time to talk about dreams, problems, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome, Salvador. I mean, when I travel, I do the same thing. I try as much as I can, sharing my experiences, learning from other people, always with friends. I mean, I never, I always, it doesn't matter to me how expensive something is. I mean, of course, I don't want it to be extremely expensive, but if I have to spend a little bit more money to get a better experience, if it involves friends or family, I, I don't hesitate. I immediately jump on the opportunity, right? So that's awesome. How far away are you from Tegucigalpa right now, man? I know very
Uh,
very little about Honduras. I know very little.
uh, I am 3 hours in car, three
Wow,
hours
so pretty
away.
pretty far. So are you on the coast then? You're close to the
Yes,
coast?
yes, on the north coast of
On the north
Honduras,
coast. Uh-huh.
a city called San Pedro Sula.
San Pedro Sula?
Yes.
San Pedro Sula. Let me look this up.
Okay.
That's interesting. I know so little Salvador. That's why. I mean, for the longest time, I thought you were from Nicaragua, man. I was I was like, hey, Salvador, how's Nicaragua? It's like, no, man, I'm actually in Honduras. Oh, crap. You know, like, it's, let's see, San Pedro Sula.
So these uh, beauties beach of the country are near to me. For
Yeah,
example,
Puerto Cortes.
Puerto Cortes,
Puerto
but
Cortes,
I don't like Puerto Cortes.
uh-huh,
I prefer Tela or Ceiba. And the
That's
most
awesome.
beautiful beach is in Roatan.
Watan, okay.
Roatan.
Oh,
Maybe.
let me see if I can find it here. I see La Ceiba.
Okay.
Uh, I see, is it east of La Ceiba?
It is, I think, to the north of Ceiba.
Oh, to the north of Ceiba is water, my friend. Let's see, one sec. I see other cities here. Let's
Let
see.
me share with you some pictures that I.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that, man. And you guys have, you're very close to Belize and Guatemala too, man, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Guatemala is just not that far away. Puerto Cortes, Laguna de los Micos, Parque Nacional Punta Losopo.
Punta
There's there's another one called Tela. Tela seems like it's a town on the coast. Tela.
Tela is a town that is in middle way to La Ceiba.
It is, exactly. La Ceiba is to the east, and then
Yeah.
even more further to the east is Trujillo. Trujillo is in the
Oh,
farthest.
Trujillo is another great place, but
It's too
I
far away, probably,
it
right?
is so far away.
Yeah,
Maybe it's 7 hours driving.
yeah, it seems
I
very
don't
far away.
know Trujillo yet.
Uh-huh. Trujillo, not yet. Tegucigalpa is also far away from you, man. It's in
Uh,
it's in the
yes,
southeast, yeah.
yes. As I think that we are 220 kilometers,
hmm hmm That's
more or
awesome.
less.
You know, let's see what these pictures are. Oh, okay, you're gonna send it to me in a little bit, maybe. Uh, okay, Choloma, Puerto Cortes, Cuyamel. Cuyamel seems like another town close to you. Uh-huh. But it's
Yes,
not. Uh-huh.
but that is maybe 15 kilometers from I am.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. And yeah, La Ceiba. Wow, Ceiba looks like a nice place.
And La Ceiba has a beautiful beach and also have a great mountain called Pico Bonito.
Pico Bonito, beautiful mountain, beautiful peak. That's great.
Yes,
Pico Bonito.
Pico Bonito. That is amazing.
That's awesome. Is that Honduras does have a lot of mountains, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, because I think it has the coast and it has the mountains. It's actually very beautiful in terms of the amount of it has a lot of variety and it touches the Gulf of Mexico and also the Pacific Ocean, right?
Yes, but
Very small.
I don't know the Pacific Ocean. I never been there.
That's idea. Like San Lorenzo is a town there.
Horizon Valle.
Yeah, Bahia de San Lorenzo. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The
That
bay.
is far away from here.
Very far. Yeah, it's almost in Nicaragua.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But maybe if you are comparing to the distance that you have in the United States, we are very close.
Maybe
Because
I
in the States you have to travel a long distance.
a lot. Yeah, the distance I traveled, I think, is from when I came to California. I would say, let me see, the distance is probably. Let me try to give you an example. Um, I'm gonna have to find a good one here. Let's see. Um, Probably a huge distance actually, but in terms of Central America, one sec here. Probably the distance between Mexico City and Bogota, or Mexico City and Ecuador, something like that was the distance I drove.
Really?
Yeah, because I
Wow.
drove a huge distance. Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin to San Francisco.
How many days?
3 days, 2.5 days.
2.5 days.
Yeah.
And how many hours do you stop to rest?
Just 5 hours each night to go to sleep. That's it.
Oh, that's a long trip.
Yeah, it was a very long trip, man. But it was so amazing. Oh man, I mean, I saw so much stuff. So Madison to San Francisco. Yeah, it's let me just tell you the distance, man, because I don't know in kilometers. So let me see. Madison to San Francisco distance is in kilometers also. 2,089 miles. 2,089 miles is 3,360 kilometers.
Oh.
Yeah, 3,360 kilometers in 60 hours. So, 2.5 days. But let's see this though. Roatan Aeropuerto. So Roatan is the city, right? It's near La Ceiba?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But
Roatan.
Roraima is an island.
Oh, okay. So it's one of the islands nearby, huh?
Do you have received the link that I sent you?
Yeah, I'm actually opening it up right now. Yeah, very beautiful, right? The water is so blue.
Yes.
That's amazing.
But we say this color is turquesa. I don't know how to say it in English.
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me write it down for you, Salvador. Turquoise. Right
Turquoise.
there. En español se dice turquesa?
Turquesa, right.
Turquesa. Wow, it's awesome. I didn't know. I know we have. I mean, azul is just blue, but turquesa is wow, turquoise. Okay, great. What about the word? Actually, this is a good question for you, Salvador. What about the word lavender? What is the Spanish of lavender? Do you know?
I don't know what is a lavender is.
Lavender is like a purple color. Let me see if I can find it on the dictionary real quick. I can explain it to you better that way. Lavender is like a light purple color.
Okay, I know, lavanda.
Lavanda, okay.
Something like lavanda.
It's kind of marron, or like it's a side of marron or purple, I guess, right?
Do you know what? For me, that is purple, but sometimes people say that is lavanda. That lets me share. You are talking about this?
It's got to be this. Yeah, exactly.
That is lavanda.
Lavanda, yeah. It's so interesting. It's beautiful.
But sounds like lavanda. If you are talking about lavanda, you are talking about a group of people
who play music, right? Like
yes,
banda musical.
Yes, when you have a group of people playing instruments, there is a banda.
You know, you should make a group called La Banda La Banda. You know, that'd be awesome. And you know, the other day I was talking to one of my friends. He's from Peru, and he went to Chile for a summer. And he said that one of the people there, one of the indigenous groups in Chile is Los Mapuches. Los Mapuches are like these ferocious fighters. And when the conquistadores were in South America, they were never able to defeat Los Mapuches, right? The Mapuches still have their own identity. You know, they're very strong fighters. So we were talking about some group in the northern part of the South America, or no, actually, we're talking about Cuba. I think we're saying Cuba is also this very resistant country, right? They don't like to. Nobody can really mess with them, right? They're very proud people. So we were calling them Los Mapuches del Caribe. You know? Los Cubanos, yeah, Los Cubanos son Los Mapuches del Caribe. And my friend said, Farhan, that is the best name for a band, Los Mapuches del Caribe. And I said, why not, right? La Banda, Los Mapuches del Caribe. You know?
Yes.
It'd be awesome. Anyway, Salvador, we got a little off track, but any questions about the lesson we had today or anything else?
No, everything was good.
Awesome, Salvador. It was a pleasure as always. I have another class at in 50 minutes, so hope to see you then. Otherwise, I'll see you later.
Okay, maybe I will attend your classes in the night.
Okay, no worries, Salvador. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Being around with a site that is very interesting.
Nice. What site?
It's called lyricstraining.com. I don't know if you heard from that site before.
No, I've never looked at it before. Let me see. I have never. It's not in my history, actually. Uh,
Let me try to write down the address. Here it
sure.
is.
What does it do? You can learn how to the song lyrics of different songs.
Yes, you can go singing along with the song and practicing the lyrics and pronunciation, everything. That is a funny side.
That's awesome, actually. This is great.
That there's a good practice and have a lot. Maybe you can have another side recording how are you singing and then listening. That was awesome.
Listening to your own singing. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's great.
Yeah,
Thanks,
and
man.
also they have Spanish songs.
Spanish song. Here, it's everywhere. Like every restaurant, all the Vietnamese restaurants have it. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Um, this sauce right here, guys, sriracha. Have you seen this before, Lynn? Is this something popular in Vietnamese food?
Yes.
It is, right? Yeah, they
Yes.
love it here. We love it here. Like, I mean, I had it before, but it's too hot for me, right? But here they have it in all the restaurants. Like, they just have these bottles everywhere, and I was very surprised. So I put a little bit of sriracha in my pho, and it was good. I mean, it was really delicious, but it was first time for me. So it's very, very good stuff. Are there any other foods, Lynn, that you would recommend for somebody who's never tried Vietnamese food? Because there are so many Vietnamese restaurants here. Like maybe today I'll go again to another one. Are there any recommendations that you can give me, Lynn?
Uh, I'm not so sure that in the country you will find out the traditional foods in Vietnam, but in,
Awesome, awesome. You know, yesterday, actually 2 days ago, Lynn, I wanted to tell you, um, there was a there is a very large Vietnamese community here in California. I'm actually in California now, and the other day I went to a restaurant. For the first time in my life, I went to a Vietnamese restaurant, and I ate pho pho ga, I think, chicken pho.
no, 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 phở ga, phở ga, right?
Pho
Yes,
ga.
phở ga.
Uh-huh. I had a very difficult time pronouncing the word because I thought it was pronounced pho. Pho, exactly, right? I thought it was pronounced pho. So I told the guy, I'm like, sir, could I get some pho ga? He said, what? Like he didn't understand what I was saying. So I had to repeat myself. And then at the end I just ended up pointing to the menu. I said, this one please, That's when he understood. So it's I was actually very surprised by the Vietnamese language. You guys have a lot of symbols for all of the letters. So there's that's awesome. There are a bunch of Spanish songs that I would listen to that I know the lyrics to. I think I know the lyrics of maybe a few of them. Like there's a song by David Bisbal. He made a bunch of good songs. Um, like Ave Maria, cuando serás mía, si me quisieras todo te daría, something like that. it's
You
it's
sing
it's a
pretty
great
well.
song. It's a great song. I love it. I love that song because it's so beautiful.
What is
Uh,
song?
hey Lynn, how's it going? I'm sorry.
What is song?
This song that we're talking about is well, the one I was talking about is called Ave Maria, and it's by a guy named David Bisbal or David Bisbal. Um, it's very old. It's maybe from 3 4 years ago, but when I first heard it, it was extremely beautiful song. Uh, yeah,
Okay,
someone was
nice.
playing it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. How's it going, Lynn? Good to see you again.
Uh, mm, everything is fine.
It looks easy to pronounce because it's the Latin letters, but I think you need to really train yourself before you can learn it. In terms of me, I can't pronounce the letters. It's difficult for me.
Yes, maybe,
Uh-huh.
maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking I need to learn because there are a lot of Vietnamese restaurants here. My friend said, "Why did you eat the pho ga? You should have had the beef one." Apparently, I think the beef one is more delicious, is what he said. I said, "I don't know. I just got what I thought was good." And they put in sriracha sauce. I don't know, Lynn, if this is something Americanized, but one of the most common food items here is sriracha sauce. Sriracha. I think it's Vietnamese, or it's from some part of Southeast Asia, maybe Thailand, something like that. It's a very hot sauce. Let me show you guys a picture, actually, Salvador, so you can see it as well. And I had it in other parts of the country, like even in my city, they have sriracha sauce, but